Hi, I'm Lisa Bell and I work at the Wayne County Extension Office for WVU Extension Service Family Nutrition Program. Today we are going to demonstrate butternut squash and red lentil soup for our food of the month, which happens to be butternut squash and gourds. So we've got our butternut squash. I'm going to cut that up real quick into 1-inch cubes and I'll be right back. Welcome back. We have our butternut squash completely cut and ready to go. You need a sharp knife when you cut the butternut squash and a good cutting board so that you can be very prepared. And your knife needs to be sharp, just be careful. Sharp knives and fingers. Pay attention to how you use your knives. So, next thing we're going to do is we're going to add to our big stock pot 2 tablespoons of olive oil, just like so. Okay, here we go. 2 tablespoons. Then you're going to add your chopped onions to the pot. Next thing you're going to do is you're going to put this on the stove and you're going to cover and simmer until the onions are translucent. So we're going to do that. So our onions are translucent and we're ready to add our sage. So we're going to take 1 teaspoon of sage to our ingredients. Then we're going to add our beautiful butternut squash to the pan. We want to get all that goodness out of there, so we don't want to leave any in there. Get that out of that pan, or out of the pot, into it. And then we're going to add 7 cups of vegetable broth. This is a 4 cup, so we're going to need a little bit more. This is your math, 7 plus how many? 3. Or 4 plus 3 equals 7, right? I actually gave you the answer ahead of time. And so we're going to measure up here to 3. And during the cooking process, if you have a lot of heat loss, a lot of the steam goes away, you can add more liquid to this dish depending on what you like, the consistency, if you like a soupier soup. So the next thing we're going to do is cook this for 5 minutes. Okay, so now we have cooked for 5 minutes. We're going to add our lentils to this recipe. One thing about lentils, when you read the bag, you want to make sure that you go through them and rinse them because there's some little twigs and things in there that you want to remove that aren't going to be so tasty in your soup. So we're going to mix in our lentils in with our squash, our sage, and our onions. And we're going to cook this covered, simmering, medium heat for 30 minutes until our butternut squash is fork tender and our lentils are soft and just good all the way around. I'm going to add a little salt and pepper here. You can add or not, it's up to you. You may want to add more at the end. I just put it in there when I'm getting ready to hit it to the stove. You want to taste that a little bit later. And once these are soft and tender, fork ready, and your lentils are soft, you're ready. All right, so we finished this out today by smell and taste. We're going to taste this in just a second. So you've got your lentils. I need to explain why this lentil soup doesn't look red because my store didn't have red lentils. We just had the plain darker lentils, so that's what I had to go with because I wasn't going to go out and shop all over the country. So we've got our soup is ready. So we already blended it. So this is what the version looks like that's blended in a blender, pureed. And then here is the chunky. A lot of people like chunky soup. So this is a chunkier version of our soup. So you've got 2 choices there. So basically you just watched your butternut squash and red lentil soup. And we appreciate you visiting us today and hope that you've enjoyed the food of the month, butternut squash.